Hello, Candice Sanderson, author of The Reluctant Messenger, and soon to be author of The Reluctant Messenger Returns, an unexpected adventure into the angelic realm. And this second book should be out later this year, probably fall, might even wait till winter of this year, 2020. But the reason I mention this is I want to describe a meditation I had on Valentine's Day, and it involved the angels. I arrived at Goddess I Am, which is a place I go pretty frequently in Naples, Florida. I got there probably 20 minutes early and sat down. I like to get to places early. I pick up on the energy of the room, and it gives me time to just get into a meditative state. And as soon as I sat down, I opened my journal and started writing because things were starting to happen. I saw these most beautiful pastel pink and green ribbons of energy that were just wafting through the room. And I smiled because that's my telltale sign that the angels are here. And I thought, how appropriate, angels coming on Valentine's Day. So that was great. The message began, and it was a message for those who would be in attendance at this meditation. So let me go ahead and just read that to you. Feel your hearts open as we flood the room with divinity. Soak in these higher vibrational frequencies. Open your hearts for the veils lift during this divine day. Be aware of your surroundings as loved ones who have slipped beyond the physical plane come forth to accompany you on this day of love. For it is love that connects us. It is love that joins us heart to heart. Seek wisdom and love from within, for that is the seat of your soul. Let your lights shine forth to become guiding lights for all others to see. Breathe in deeply, my friends, and allow your breath to raise your vibrations even higher. Go forth and share your love with the universe. Go forth and shine. Several minutes passed, and pretty soon the room was filled with those who were going to be attending the meditation. And Beth began by using a large buffalo drum, and she drummed it around each person. And as this happened, I saw a lot of things in common. Each person released some lower vibrational energies that no longer serve them. And I can't really say that they were negative energies, but just maybe stale energies is the most appropriate word. And as these energies left, I saw flecks of grayish, looked like ash. Some people had larger pieces, some had multiple small pieces, but everyone had this ash that left them. And all of these pieces came to the center of the room, where they caught up into this vortex that took the energy away from us. And I didn't have to see it, because I knew what was happening. We know that energy cannot be destroyed. And what was happening with this, it was being sent back to the universe in order to be transformed into something that's lighter and more positive energy. It was going to be renewed. As I looked around the room, each person was different. Their energy field was lighter, and some people, I actually saw these little spots of light that represented the newness that they had. And I smiled because it was the angels that had orchestrated this. It gave us more room to get higher vibrational frequencies, to get more love, to get more light into our lives. Beth started the meditation, and she guided each of us to look into a mirror and then describe what we saw. Some people, after the meditation, when we talked about this, some people saw themselves just like they looked that day. Others saw younger versions of themselves. Some were in their 20s, some were just children. Others saw strangers. What I saw was not even a person, but I saw my energy field. It was large, oval, egg-shaped energy field, and within my energy field were all these sparkles of light. And then the energy field started to like peel back. It kind of reminded me if you peel a banana. And as the energy field peeled all the way back, within was this tiny spark of light. It looked like a diamond, but I knew that it was pulsing. I knew it was alive. It then took off and joined thousands of other lights, and they were all going in one direction. It looked like a stampede, or that's not the right word, a migration of fireflies. And I asked for clarity. I didn't really know what this represented. I took a deep breath, and then I intuitively knew that all of these sparks were on the same path toward the Supreme One, toward the Creator. And I understood that each one of us we have a divine spark from within. We were all part of one, we still are, but we were part of the Creator. And as we learn to meditate, as we learn to listen to the guidance from our heart, then we become closer to our true selves, and we start reaching toward guidance that's very divine. And we do literally start moving toward the Creator. When we relinquish, just as I had seen with the ash, when we start relinquishing beliefs that no longer serve us, then that opens us up to the divine truth of who we are, what we really are, and life just becomes richer. I then started having these images and these questions that came to mind, such as, what happens when we die? What happens when our physical form drops away? And as soon as those thoughts entered my mind, I had a vision of an eyedropper filled with jet black ink, and I saw one drop fall into a large bowl of water. And I had this intuitive knowing that this is what happens when we pass away. There's no vanishing, there's an expansion. Just as the ink in water then just expands beyond, much further beyond its original state, that is what will happen with us also. When it comes to time for us to go through our final transition from this three-dimensional life, we're going to drop our physical forms and become expansive, as our true selves, our authentic selves, will be released into those waters of creation. And we won't be alone, because just like today, our angels will be there to guide us. So I hope this was helpful to you. I couldn't help but think of the Monroe Institute, and many of you all know I'm a fan of Monroe Institute, but Bob Monroe has an affirmation that before his exercises that begins with, I am more than my physical body. And the more I think about that, the more profound that is. My opening to Spirit was in August of 2013. But before that time, I was a psychologist whose life revolved around my physical senses. If something could not be measured by my senses, by definition, it did not, it didn't exist. So I have gone from being a psychologist, not accepting anything real unless I could measure it, to now being someone who accepts these messages from the divine, accepts these messages from Spirit. In the past, if I had heard some of the things I'm talking about now, I would have referred myself to a psychologist. And I think this might be part of the answer that I'm always asking, why? Why me? And perhaps it needed to be someone like me who really didn't believe anything unless I could measure it, And so when I opened spontaneously to Spirit, I had to really look at my beliefs and my belief system and realize there is something more than what our physical senses can measure. And now that I've tapped into this, I couldn't be happier. I find myself now living in the world of spirit. I am in the unseen world of the non-physical. And although I don't guess I'll ever know the why me, it's important to know that there is more to life than what meets the eye. It's very important to listen to your heart, listen to what your heart says, and allow that guidance that's trying to come into us. So I hope that these videos and blogs are useful to some people. Always remember to follow your heart, because that is the key, and as the angel said, that is where the seat of the soul lies. I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me if you wish. I can also be found on social media, YouTube obviously. I have my own website, CandiceSanderson.com. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn. So until next time, I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you.